विवेकानंद सूरये सच्चित् सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः. Dear friends, I am happy to be interacting with you, and I hope you are able to listen to me. And I was requested to have interaction with the youth group that you are having. So what I had suggested is that rather than I give lectures, there can be an interaction where you ask the questions and I reply them. That will be more appropriate and more to the purpose, and will be immediately fulfilling your requirements. So I already received a few questions. I'll first reply those questions, and then afterwards it will be an open session where you can ask me questions, and I will reply the questions. First of all, at present I am talking in English, but afterwards, if the opportunity presents and when you feel, I will switch over to Bengali, though my Bengali is not perfect. And I am not very much habituated. Since 1989 I am here in Gujarat, and very less period I spent in Bengal. Anyway, but afterwards I will try to reply to you in Bengali if you feel that I am not very much understandable when I am talking to you in English. So now, taking about one question, first question is the secret of success. Now this is a very important question. It is important for the students also to know what is the secret of success, for the youth also to know naturally. So Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, the secret of success in trade, in war, in every management of human affairs is the concentration of mind. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a great American thinker. And Swami Vivekananda said, if I had to do my education over again, I will not undergo the present system of education. I will first try to get concentration of mind, try to get control over mind. Then information I can have at my own will. I can go to the library and can get any amount of information. Of course, he was talking at that time about the library, but now you need not go to the library, just go to Google search, click, and you get all the information. So information is not a very big deal. So Swami Vivekananda said, education is not the amount of information that goes into your brain and runs undigested all your life. So what is education? Education is becoming. So Swami Vivekananda said that the crux of the whole of secret of education, true education, is concentration of mind. He had so much of concentration of mind, and yet he wanted more concentration of mind. How much concentration he had? I'll give you only a few examples. You might be aware about those examples, just to recall all those incidents. First incident I'll talk to you about Swami Vivekananda was when he was in Belur Math. When he was staying in Belur Math, in his room, you must have seen, because you are from Kolkata, you must have seen Belur Math, that behind the main temple there is a two-storied building where Swami Vivekananda used to stay. On the first floor there is a room in which Swami Vivekananda used to stay, and that room has been preserved, as you know, as it is, as it is at the time of Swami Vivekananda. His table, his chair, his cot, camp cot, his turban, his clothes, musical instrument, everything is as it is. It is in this room that on 4 July 1902, he passed away in meditation at the age of 39 years. Now, I am talking about the incident that happened a few days before his passing away. He had a disciple named Sharat Chakravarti. He has written a beautiful book based on his own diary. The name of the book is Sami Shishya Samvad in Bengali. That has been translated into English. The name of the English book is Talks with Vivekananda. There you get that incident where Sharat Chakravarti writes in his diary that when I went there, I saw Swami Vivekananda was reading the book. The name of the book, Encyclopedia Britannica. So many volumes, they were all spread all over the floor. And Swamiji was just going and reading. And then the disciple said, "Oh my God, so many books. It will take whole lifetime to finish all these books." Swami Vivekananda said, "What do you say? I have already finished 10 volumes and now I am reading the 11th volume." "What? You have finished 10 volumes within a few days? Impossible. I can't believe." Swami Vivekananda said, "Well, you do not believe? Okay. You ask any question from first these 10 volumes." And the disciples started taking book one by after another and randomly started asking questions from anywhere, any part of the book. And Swami Vivekananda replied. He replied all the questions and correct replies, and sometimes quoting the very language of the book. Then disciple was very much astonished, Sharat Chakravarti. "Swamiji, this is a miracle." Swami said, "This is not miracle." "What is this?" "This is the power of concentration of mind. If you have concentration of mind, 10-hour study can be done in 1 hour. Many students ask me, "Swamiji, how is it possible? 10-hour study in 1 hour?" I say it is possible because at present we are doing 1 hour study in 10 hours. You are taking the book in your hand, the eyes are in the book, the mind is wandering here and there. Yesterday I saw a particular film in the TV and the hero was going after the villain in this direction. Had he gone in that direction, he would have got the villain. But where are you going? And after a long time, oh my God, I was reading the book and this villain, hero and TV and film and playground and so person has completed sanctuary or not, and all those things are coming in the mind. So at present we are doing 1 hour study in 10 hours. So 10-hour study will be done in 1 hour if we have got concentration of mind. And not only in study, in every sphere of our life, in sports, music, games, in every sphere, the secret is concentration of mind. Swamiji, when he went to second time, he went twice to the West. First in 1893 to participate in the Parliament of World's Religion. On 11th September 1893, he delivered his historic speech. That was also 9/11. But we did not listen to his message of 9/11, so there was another 9/11 after 180 years. Because we did not listen to his message of harmony of religions. Anyway, so he went there in 1893, stayed on till 1897. In month of January 1897, he returned to India after preaching Vedanta in America and Europe. Second time again, he went in 1899 at the invitation of the devotees there. This time we went to the West Coast also. Previously, he had gone to Chicago, New York, etc., East Coast and Chicago, Middle Coast. But then this time he went to West Coast. That is second visit. And then in San Francisco, California, near California, there is a beautiful place called Camp Taylor. So Swami Vivekananda was taken there. And Swami Vivekananda was crossing a small river. There was a wooden bridge at that time. When I went to America, I saw it is not a wooden bridge. It is a concrete bridge. But when Swami Vivekananda went, it was a wooden bridge. So Swamiji was crossing the river. At that time, he saw 4 cowboys trying to shoot at the eggshells that were floating in water. There was a string and 12 eggshells, not eggs, eggshells were all attached to it, and that whole string was floating in water, These cowboys were trying to shoot at the eggshells, but their shots were going in vain. For some time Swamiji watched. Then he could not help smiling because their shots were going in vain. Now these 4 cowboys, they became very much annoyed. What? You are laughing at us? Is it a small job to shoot at the eggshells that are floating in water? Okay, we give you the challenge. Let us see. How do you do it? Then they handed over the gun to Swamiji. Now, what to do? So Swamiji took up the gun, aimed at the eggshells. Fut, 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 fut. 12 eggshells gone in 12. And this cowboy is very much astonished. Swami, how long you are practicing? We are practicing from 5 years. We could not do it. How long you are practicing? Swamiji replied, my dear friends, I am holding the gun for the first time. Huh? First time? And you shoot out the eggshells. That is miracle. Swamiji said, this is not miracle. That is the power of concentration of mind. So there are many such incidents in the life of Swami Vivekananda, which shows that concentration can give you success in every sphere of life. In sports, in games, music, study, everything. Now the $1 million question is how to get concentration of mind. So remember a small formula, C is directly proportional to P, where C is equal to concentration of mind and P is equal to purity of mind. That means greater the purity of mind, greater is the concentration of mind. Then second question is, then how to purify the mind? Another equation. Aha Shuddhau, Satta Shuddhi, Satta Shuddhau, Dhruva Smritihi. The purer the food, purer will be the mind. Now, intake has to be made pure. Then our mind will be pure. Now, what is type intake? What are the types of intake? One intake we are having through our mouth. That means that our ahara should be sattvic, non-exciting. Of course, I know the modern youth, they like fast food. They Maggi and chow chow, burger and all that. Of course, you can take sometimes, but then if you want the mind to be controlled, we have to gradually go for non-exciting food. So, the food that we are taking through mouth, that has to be non-exciting, sattvic. But that is not only enough. We are taking more important intake is through our eyes, through our ears. The type of programs that we watch on TV or the type of use or misuse we have, internet, cheating, chatting, both go together. The type of our internet cheating, chatting, the type of food we are taking through our eyes, what we are reading, what are the books that we are reading, what are the types of books that we are reading, through our ears, what we are listening. All this makes a lot of difference. So, purer the food, purer the intake, purer will be the mind. So remember the 3 monkeys of Gandhiji, I hope. That is, three monkeys. One monkey having 2 eyes closed, second monkey 2 ears closed, and third monkey mouth closed. First monkey telling, don't look at evil things. Second monkey, don't listen to bad things. Third monkey, don't speak ill of others. Don't speak bad things. So, this we have to remember. That is, not taking impure food. We also have to remember, apart from remembering the 3 monkeys of Gandhiji, we must remember the 3 monkeys of Switzerland. One of our Swamijis has gone to Switzerland for preaching Vedanta. There, by the side of a lake, there are beautiful lakes there. All along, if you go by train, I was amazed, like ocean, big lakes, they are there. So many beautiful lakes there. So, by the side of a lake, there was an image of 3 monkeys, but very strange monkeys. So far he had seen the image of 3 monkeys, out of which one monkey having 2 eyes closed, another monkey 2 ears closed, and third monkey mouth closed. But here he found in Switzerland an image of 3 monkeys, one monkey having 1 eye closed, 1 open. Second monkey, 1 ear closed, 1 open. And third monkey, half mouth closed, half open. Now he was very much amazed. Now what these 3 monkeys are trying to tell? We know these 3 monkeys don't look at it, don't look at evil, don't speak evil, don't listen to evil. But what are these 3 monkeys of Switzerland trying to tell? He started thinking about all these things, and suddenly he remembered a shloka from the Vedas, and he got the meaning. What was the shloka? Bhadram karnebhi shunuyam devah Bhadram pashe makshbirjatrah Sirairangaistustuvagam sastanubihi Vyashema devahi tayyadayuhu Swastina indro vriddhashava Swastina pusha vishvaveda Swastina staksho arishtanemi Swastino brihaspati dadhatu. Bhadram karnebhi shunuyam deva. Listen to good things. 1 ear is closed, don't listen to bad things. But 1 ear is open, listen to good things. 1 eye is closed, don't look at bad things. But 1 eye is open, look at good things. Don't watch bad programs on TV, but watch some good programs. Don't read bad books, but read the books, inspiring books of Swami Vivekananda. Inspiring books which gives you positive thinking. Read the books, motivational books. Read the books on self-development. Then you have half mouth closed. Don't criticize others, but half mouth is open. But have a word of appreciation for others. So, if we start taking good and pure food through our senses and avoid taking bad food or impure food, gradually our mind will become pure. And when the mind becomes pure, we will get more and more of concentration of mind. So this is one way by which we can improve our concentration and get success in every sphere of life. Second important thing is, in order to have concentration, we must have control over our mind. This control over our mind comes from the control of our life. How to have control of our life? That will come when our life is regular. When you have regular life, routine, there has to be some routine. Many students are coming to me. I asked them, what time do you get up? Nothing certain. Some days 6 o'clock, some days 7 o'clock. If there is Sundays and 8 o'clock. What is your time of going to bed? Nothing certain. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, if there is a good picture. What is the time of your study? Nothing certain. Whenever I get a mood, I study. What is the time of your taking food? Nothing certain. Whenever I'm hungry, I take food. So, whatever I say, nothing certain. Then they ask me, Swamiji, when shall I get concentration of mind? I say, nothing is certain. যখন তোমার কিছু ঠিক নাই তা কনসেন্ট্রেশনও ঠিক নাই। যখন তোমার ঘুম থেকে ঘুম ভাঙবার টাইমও ঠিক নেই, ঘুমে যাওয়ার টাইম ঠিক নেই, পড়াশোনা করার টাইম ঠিক নাই, খেলাধুলার টাইম ঠিক নাই, খাওয়া দাওয়ার টাইম ঠিক নাই, ওটাও নিশ্চিত নাই, তাহলে কনসেন্ট্রেশনও ঠিক নেই, একাগ্রতাও পাওয়া যাবে না। So, if you want concentration, you have to make your routine life. Routine is very important. Regular life. So, and that routine should be a very practicable thing. Sometimes people they prepare a timetable, but very ideal timetable. but they are not able to follow it because it's too ideal. No, it should be practicable, which can be followed immediately. So the secret, the formula, another secret of success formula is start with the minimum and practice the easiest. Start with the minimum and practice the easiest. For example, you want to get up early in the morning. You heard that early morning there is a beautiful, very nice concentration. If you study early in the morning, meditate early in the morning, okay. But you are not able to get up. At present, you are getting at 6 o'clock. You want to get up at 5 o'clock. Don't start like that. Start 5:45 every day. After 1 month, when you have succeeded in getting up at 5:45, now make it 5:30. 1 month more. Now you are already be able to get up at 5:30. Now make it 5:15. So over a period of time, gradually, you will be able to achieve your goal. So start with the minimum and practice the easiest. So that is what very important. Routine, if you want to have routine, it should be a practicable timetable and try to follow that timetable. And if you have a routine life like this, then you will find gradually your mind is coming under control. When the mind is coming under control, you will have better concentration. When you have better concentration, you will get success in every sphere of life. So I replied to one question. Now second question is about career development. Naturally, you have to go for career development. But what is the purpose of life? That should not be forgotten. Career development is a must. You must have career development. Khali pete dharma hoy na, Thakur bolechen. Sri Ramakrishna told, with empty stomach, no religion. You must have a good job, excellent job, good money. You must lead a dignified life. For leading a dignified life, you must have a dignified pay, dignified package. That is important. And whether you go for a job, whether you go for business, you have to try to earn money and have a good life. Good standard of life is also very important. Bhikhari hovar jano Swamiji kono din bolen nahi ki become a beggar. For a very, very minimum, very small percentage of people who are trying to become monks or who are renouncing the world, for them it is not poverty, we are not beggars. We have opted for that state. We have taken up the vow of poverty, of simple life. So, you must go for earning money. Career development is a must. But what we have to remember is the second part, character development. If they both do not go together, career development and character development both have to go together to achieve real success in life. Otherwise, for some time, it will appear that you have developed a good career, but simultaneously, if you are not develop your total personality, so total personality development is a must. What is the total personality development? Physical development of the personality, mental development of the personality, intellectual development of the personality, moral development of the personality, and spiritual development of the personality. All the five must come. Physics must be strong. Swami Vivekananda said you will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by the study of Gita. One student came to me, Ami to bas ekhon Gita padha chhede diyechi. Keno? Swamiji bollen na, you will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by the Gita. So ami Gita chhede diyechi, so football khelte arambho korechi. Are baba puro to pod. Swamiji ke bolechen? You will be nearer to heaven through football rather than by the study of Gita, because by playing football, your muscles will become stronger, you will have a strong physique, then you will be able to understand the message of Sri Krishna better. So, Uni bolen nahi, chhadte bolen nahi. Uni bolen Sri Krishna's message বুঝতে হলে শরীরটা স্ট্রং হতে হবে। So physics has to be made strong. How it can come? Through two things mainly. That is nutritious diet, and second thing is proper exercise. So that is physical. Then that is not enough. Intellectual development. So intellectual development will come by study. Third, by study, with concentration of mind. Third is strong mind. There may be a student who is a gold medalist, but of what use? A little bit of failure and he commits suicide. His mind is so weak, such a weak mind. A small failure, a small problem, and he commits suicide. Why all these people are committing suicide? Only one problem, only one reason. There may be hundreds of reasons, but ultimately, basically, it is one reason. Their mind has become so weak, a small problem, and problems will come. Life means problem. Swami Vivekananda was asked this question by Maharaja Khetri, Ajit Singh ji. Swamiji, what is life? Swamiji immediately replied, my dear prince, life is nothing but the unfoldment of a being under the circumstances, trying to press it down. So there will be problems. Problems are part and parcel of life. We have to boldly face those problems. We should not be bogged down. When Swamiji was traveling all over the country before going to America, when he went to Varanasi, he had a darshan of Mother Durga in the Mother Durga temple, and then he was coming out. Suddenly, some monkeys, they started chasing him. So Swamiji got afraid. He started running, and these monkeys started running after him. Now, there on one side there was a big tank, big pond. Second side there was a wall. So Swamiji had no other way to go. He was going forward and forward, but now he became exhausted. Now what to do? At that time, he heard one sadhu shouting, "Hey, डरो मत, बंदर का सामना करो." When he heard this, he stopped, looked back, and he had a stick. He just showed that stick, and all the monkeys fled. They ran away. Then, in his lecture in America, Swami Vivekananda said, that day I learnt one of the greatest lessons of my life. What is that? Face the brutes. Face the difficulties of life squarely. Be bold. Difficulties will come. They are part of life. Problems will come. But face them boldly. That we are not able to face boldly because our mind is very, very weak. Gandhiji said, my prayer is the food for my mind. We are taking all possible care of taking food to make the mind strong. Even when we are traveling, when we know that the food is not proper, still we are taking, because if we remain hungry, we will become weak physically. But when we talk about the mental weakness, we are not at all bothered. We go on neglecting food. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, no food, no prayer, no meditation, no reading good books, nothing, no intake. If you do not take intake for 3 days, what happens? Your body becomes very weak. And here we are having no time. I have got so much work. No time to read books of Swami Vivekananda. No read to pray. No time to read. No time to pray. No time to meditate. No, I don't have time. And you go on avoiding all these things, gradually your mind becomes very weak, very weak, very weak. So much weak, little problem, suicide. একটুখানি প্রবলেম হলো সুসাইড। ওয়াই? এত নির্বল হয়ে গেছি আমরা, এত নির্বল, এত দুর্বল। মাইন্ড হ্যাজ বিকাম ভেরি উইক। বডি ইজ ওকে, বাট হোয়াট অফ দ্যাট? সো mental strength is very much important. Mental strength will come by positive thoughts. And these positive thoughts will come by books, reading of the good books, and holy company, by holy books, reading holy books, by prayer, by meditation. Every day we have to have meditation, prayer. Then gradually our mind will become more and more strong. So strong body, strong mind, strong intellect. But even with all that, you can become Ravana. Esha Ravana madhye sab chilo. Physically strong, mentally strong, intellectually strong. Kintu Rakhash, demon. Bhartihari, he told there are 4 types of people in the society. Ete satpurushaha parartha ghataka swarthan parityajye samanyastu parartham udyama abrata swartha virodhaniye temi manav rakshasaha parahitam swarthaya nignanti ye tu nignarthi nirarthakam parahitam teke न जानी में है. There are 4 types of people in the society. Number 1, Satpurusha, excellent human beings. They try to good to others, sacrificing their lives. Second, Samanya Manushya, ordinary human beings. They first try to good to themselves, then they try to good to others. Third, Mano Rakshasa. They are looking like human beings, but actually they are not. They are Rakshasas, they are demons. Demons means not the demons that you see on TV with 2 horns. Sometimes these Rakshasas looking very handsome. They will come in safari suit, in Banarasi sari, Rakshas. What are they? For their small self-interest, they can do any amount of harm to others. That are Rakshas. That is demon. Manav Rakshasa. And these Manav Rakshasas you find everywhere in the society. मैं मेरी बीबी भी मेरा बच्चा मेरा मकान देश जाए भाड़ में. I want everything for myself and I want to cheat others. I don't mind. Let them go to hell. I want for myself, everything for myself. I don't bother about nation. I don't bother about society. And I will mix any amount of adulteration I will do in the food. Let them die. But I want money for myself. These are all Rakshasas, Manav Rakshasas. For their small self-interest, they can do any amount of harm to others. Then Bhartihari says there are 4 types of people. The 4 type, I cannot give the name because they are worse than Rakshasas. These Manav Rakshasas, for their small self-interest, they do any amount of harm to others. But this 4 type, they don't get any benefit, but they enjoy others' downfall. Somebody's house is burning. Oh, very nice, very nice. They are so happy. Oh, agun legeche, khub bhalo, khub bhalo. Or badite agun legeche, khub bhalo, khub bhalo. Se khub anandito. Kintu tumi kichu pele? Na, kintu or badi agun legeche, amar eto bhalo lagche. Somebody has failed. Ekta chele fail hoye gelo. Khub anand holo. Tumi kintu ekta number pele? Na, kintu o fail hoye gelo, amar khub bhalo lagche. খুব আনন্দ হচ্ছে খুব ভালো ফেল হয়ে গেল আনন্দ হচ্ছে. Is 4 type worse than Rakshasas. So Bhartihari talks about these 4 types of people, and now made a latest discovery, 5th type. Well, if there is no name for the 4th type, teke na jani mahe, I cannot give the name of the 5th one, but I can tell you what do they do. The 4th type people, without getting there any benefit, they enjoy others' downfall. Now the 5th type, they enjoy others' downfall so much, by harming themselves, they do harm to others. So much they enjoy others' downfall, others' harm. So they sit down in aeroplane and strike with the world tower. This happened. They knew. The pilots were knowing that they will die. They are going to strike with the tower, with the World Trade Center. They will die. But they were so happy. Let me die. But I am killing 2,500 people minimum. That was a great joy for them. Killing so many thousands of people. Such a joy. By killing themselves, they are killing others. This is the 5th type of people. Let me become blind, but let the neighbor die. This is a beautiful story. I don't have the time now to tell story, but anyway, you might have heard about that story also. So this is the thing, fifth type of people. So in society now we find most of the people are a third type, fourth or fifth. Samanya Manush, ordinary human beings are less, and excellent human beings, you have to see with the microscopic minority. And that is why Swami Vivekananda said, what we want is man-making education, character-building education, not demon-making education, not Rakshasa-making education. So, this mental development, moral development, intellectual development, physical development, and last, spiritual development. With all those other developments, if you do not have spiritual development, your life is zero. Ultimately, Sri Ramakrishna says, you put any number of zeros, it is zero only. Just put one, and then you put on 1 0, 10, 2 zeros, 100, 3 zeros, 1000, goes on increasing. But first put one, and that one is the spirituality, is God, is your divinity. So, manifestations of the divinity. This is most important. What in the modern science, modern language, if you want this true success, you must have SQ. What is SQ? Spiritual intelligence. Dana Zohar, she is a professor in Oxford University. She has written a book, the name of the book is SQ, Spiritual Intelligence, the Ultimate Intelligence, where she says neurologically, physiologically, biologically, psychologically, from every point of view, there is a concluding evidence. There is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. What is IQ? Intelligence quotient, that you know very well. What is EQ? Emotional quotient, emotional intelligence. Daniel Goleman made a research in 1991 and said EQ is more important than IQ, emotional intelligence. And then now the latest discovery of the modern science, SQ, spiritual intelligence, the ultimate intelligence, where she says that from every point of view there is a concluding evidence, there is something called SQ, which is the basis of both IQ and EQ. What is IQ? IQ will tell you how to play the game of life. What is EQ? EQ will tell you how to play the game of life under changed circumstances. What is SQ? SQ will tell you why to play the game of life. What is the purpose of life? Why we are here on this earth? What do we want to achieve so that at the time of death we are happy? We are not having any repentance. जब तू आया जगत में जग हंसे तू रोए, ऐसी करनी कर चलो, मरते समय तुम हंसो जग रोए. Live the life in such a manner that at the time of death, when you were born, जब तू आया जगत में जग हंसे तू रोए, all were laughing, only you were weeping. The child, when he is born, he is weeping. Dr. Kalam asked this question to youth. What is the one time when a child weeps and the mother smiles? Then he himself replied, that is the time when the child is born. Mother is so happy. The child is weeping. Normally, when a child is weeping, mother will weep. Invariably, mother cannot but weep. If the child is weeping, mother will weep. But only one time, that is when the child is born, the child is weeping, mother is smiling. Oh, child is born. And she is so happy. So she is smiling. That is the only time. So, when you are born, जब तू आया जगत में, जग हंसे तू रोए, you alone were weeping. All were happy. All were clapping. All were happy. All were smiling. All were laughing. But you alone, you were weeping. Now, you lead the life in such a manner. At the end of the game, at the end of the life, when the death comes, you are so happy. I have not cheated anybody in my life. I have tried to serve the society. I have tried to take the name of the Lord. I have served my Lord in so many human beings. I have tried my best to be of use to the society, and now I am going to the abode of peace, the abode of happiness, to the abode of God. Whole life I have been taking the name of the Lord and doing the work of the Lord. Now I am going back to Lord. I am so happy. You are laughing, and let others weep. Oh, such a nice person. He has left us. Let them all weep. That is the real secret of success. जब तू आया जगत में, जग हंसे, तू रोए, ऐसी करनी कर चलो, मरते समय तुम हंसो, जग रोए. Let them weep. Such a nice person is left. But you go smilingly. You are so happy. You have fulfilled the purpose of life. So that is SQ. Trying to have real spirituality. And this is what marks the real success from ordinary success. Unless you SQ, that success, other success is of no use. This fellow, this Sushant Singh Rajput, I think if I am telling the name rightly, this film actor, but he was lacking. Whatever a young man is now aspiring for, everything he had success, he had name and fame, he had publicity, millions of followers. None of you have got so many followers on Twitter, on Instagram. So many followers he had, millions of followers. All types of success, whatever you can think of, money, residence, latest model house, latest model cars, latest model mobiles. What he was lacking, everything was, and that is the peace of mind. That is the main thing. Have you got peace of mind? Are you happy? External objects do not make you happy. The source of infinite joy, infinite happiness is inside. कबीर says, मोको कहाँ तू ढूंढे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में, खोजोगे तो अभी मिलूंगा पल भर की तलाश में. The source of infinite joy, infinite happiness is inside, and we are seeking it outside. नित्यो नित्यानाम चेतनश्चेतनानाम एको बहुनाम विदधाति कामान तम आत्मस्थम येनु पश्यन्ति धीराः तेषां शांति शाश्वती नेतरेषाम. There is the infinite joy is there inside already, but we are searching outside. नाभि कमल में है कस्तूरी, वृथा मृग फिरे बनकारे, बिन सद्गुरु नर ऐसे ही ढूंढे जैसे फिरे पशु बनकारे. There is a kasturi mrig, that deer running. Why it is running? It is getting some smell. In order to find out that smell from where it is coming, it is running, and then it dies. Later on discovered that smell was coming from its own navel. Nabhi kamal mein hai kasturi. Kasturi was there. Musk deer. Musk was there. Kasturi was there in that musk deer, inside the navel, and it was searching outside. This is our story. नाभि कमल में है कस्तूरी, वृथा मृग फिरे बनकारे, बिन सदगुरु नर ऐसे ढूंढे जैसे फिरे पशु बनकारे. This is what is our story. So this is the thing. Development of SQ is the essence of whole thing. Otherwise, without SQ, all your achievements, so-called achievements, money, power, name, fame, publicity, whatever you call so-called success, is zero. Just now recently, so many. It has started from Marilyn Monroe. She was a very famous Hollywood actress, the most beautiful woman of that world at that time. She committed suicide. I'm talking about 1962. From that it has started. We think that these film stars, how happy they would be. Oh my God, so much money they have got, so much popularity they have got. They have got more following than any even political leader or anybody in the world. But look at their lives, how many of them committed suicide. Just now recently some other committed suicide 2 days back. So it is going on. what we think that they are the happiest people in the world, they are the most unhappiest people in the world. My God. So, that doesn't mean we should not go for money. We should not go for the latest model mobile or latest model bike or latest model house. But that is not enough. Without SQ, this is all zero. So, Dana Zohar in her book, Spiritual Intelligence, Ultimate Intelligence, gives a beautiful example. By the side of the Mexican coast, there was a management consultant from Harvard. Management consultant, he was sitting there. Just by the side there was a fisherman. He was sleeping. It was afternoon and he was just reclining in his boat. And this management consultant said, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you not fishing? It is still afternoon." Then the fisherman said, "Sir, you know what happened? In the early morning I had a very nice catch. And so I sold that fish. I got enough money and that is enough for my today's needs. My quota is over. And so I am enjoying. Now I am enjoying my sleep." What? Is there any quota system here? We should go and have more and earn more. Go for fishing and get more money. But what will I get with more money? I already got enough for today. Why? It should deposit. Deposit? He never heard the word deposit. Yes, open a bank account and deposit. Then go on depositing. When you got enough, then purchase another boat. Then when you purchase another boat, you will get more fish. Then more money. Then again deposit. Likewise, go on increasing the number of boats. Then you will become a CEO of a multinational company. Then you move your headquarters from Mexico to New York. Then naturally you go all over the world to open branches. Then naturally when you travel so much, you will have blood pressure, high blood pressure, you will have bypass surgery. When there are 3 bypass surgeries, when the doctor says no more, then you retire and sell all the companies and come to me. I am an investment expert from Harvard. I will tell you how to invest the money. And when you invest the money like that, you will have every month you will receive very nice fixed income and you will be able to sleep nicely without any tranquilizer. I was sleeping. So, this is what we are. This is our wisdom. This is our foolishness. So, development of SQ is a must if we really want happiness and peace. So, what is the real goal of life? To get happiness and peace in the everyday life and to get eternal happiness and peace at the end of the game. If you do not get that eternal happiness and peace at the end of the game, and if you are not getting happiness and peace in the everyday life, all your possessions, all your money, all your everything that is you are having is of no use. Happiness and peace in everyday life is the real thing, and eternal happiness and eternal peace is the real objective, and for which development of IQ, EQ and SQ, all the 3 are necessary. Then only total personality development comes. So TPD, total personality development, is equal to IQ plus EQ plus SQ. Then only you will have fulfillment of life. Then you will have fulfilled the purpose of life. Now, how to develop SQ? So Swami Vivekananda gives the gist of whole of Vedanta in one paragraph in Raj Yoga. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines or dogmas or rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So this is the whole thing. This is the gist of the whole thing. What is that? Manifesting the divinity within. How? So, development of SQ is a must. TPD, total personality development, is equal to IQ plus EQ plus SQ. Now, how to develop SQ is the question. So, Swami Vivekananda gives the gist of whole of Vedanta in one paragraph in his book on Raj Yoga, which gives us a clue as to how can we achieve, how can we develop this SQ, spiritual intelligence. So Swami Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So this is the whole thing, gist of the whole thing. That is manifesting the divinity within by controlling nature external and internal, by four yogas: Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. What is Raj Yoga? Raj Yoga is based on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. It is Ashtanga Marga, 8-fold steps: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So, this is Ashtanga Marga. What is Yam? Yam are 5. Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha, and Ahimsa. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya, non-covetousness. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, continuous. Aparigraha, non-covetousness. Ahimsa, non-violence. Then Niyama. Niyama also 5. Shauch, cleanliness. Santosh, contentment. Tap, austerity. Swadhyay, study. Ishwar Pranidhan, surrender to God. Shauch, Santosh, Tap, Swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan. This Yama Niyama is the foundation of this Raj Yoga. Without the foundation, you cannot have a superstructure of Raj Yoga. Many people, they want to start from the 7th floor, and then they 7th floor they jump and then they are finished. They want to start from Samadhi. Foundation they don't want. Yama, Niyama, purification of the mind, moral principles to be followed, they don't bother about that and simply go for instant Samadhi, like instant coffee, instant success. And there are people to give instant Samadhi at $500 and people to take, and then resulting in madness, going to end in a mental hospital. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and then Samadhi is the 8th step. So it is a long drawn process. Sato Dirghakal Deirantar Satkara Sevitu Drudibhimi. There is nothing called instant success. Even meditation is difficult. So gradually we have to, if the foundation is not strong, if our moral principles we have not got achieved in our life, very difficult to go for the other steps. But we should try. We should try every day something. We can start with 5 minutes meditation. Gradually we can increase the time. So basically it is going for meditation with more basic following moral rules. That is Raj Yoga. What is Bhakti Yoga? Bhakti Yoga is worship of the Lord, repeating the mantra, holy mantras, bhajan, kirtan, repeating the mantra japam. Basically loving the Lord, by loving whom we never come to grief. भगवान के ভালোবাসা যাকে ভালোবাসলে পরে আর কখনো আমাদের দুঃখিত হতে হবে না. That is Bhakti Yoga. Loving the Lord thy God with all thy strength, with all thy faith, with all thy mind. That is Bhakti Yoga. Third, Jnana Yoga. trying to know what is my true nature. Who am I? Am I the body? Am I this mind? Am I the intellect? No. Who am I? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am the birthless, deathless, ever pure, ever blissful Atman. Try to realize that. And fourth, Karma Yoga. Converting each and every work into worship by the spirit of detachment and unselfish service. That gives you tremendous power. When you start serving others unselfishly, you get tremendous power, you get tremendous strength, tremendous courage. Not only that, you get peace of mind, which is very important. So these 4 yogas, when we practice in our daily life, little bit of meditation, Raj Yoga, little bit of prayer, morning, evening, Bhakti Yoga, little bit of inspirational reading and reflection over it, that Gyan Yoga, and trying to convert each and every work into worship, and trying to do a little bit of unselfish service, trying to remove the ego, gradually getting purified. This 4 process, these 4 methods, these 4 yogas, if we practice in our daily life, we will have happiness and peace in everyday life, resulting in eternal happiness, eternal peace, which is the real purpose of life. So there is no harm in going for good package of salary, good standard of living, no problem. But we must not forget the purpose of life is to develop SQ. IQ, EQ not enough. SQ development is a must. Career development is not enough. Career development along with that character development and total personality development is a must. So this is what I have briefly told about your questions, and one more question was there. As far as I remember, Holy Mother's message, Karu dosh dekhbe na, যদি কেউ আমার দোষ দেখে তাহলে আমি ওর দোষ দেখবো কি না। তো মেসেজ কি আছে ভালো করে দেখো। মা বলেছেন যদি শান্তি চাও তাহলে কারো দোষ দেখবে না, যদি শান্তি না চাও দোষ দেখবে, দেখো না। যদি শান্তি না চাও দোষ দেখো। যদি কেউ তোমার দোষ দেখছে তাহলে ও শান্তি পাবে না। নাও হোয়াট আই শুড ডু, বিকজ somebody is looking at my faults, I should start looking at the fault. Yes, you can do that, কিন্তু পরে শান্তি পাবে না। যদি শান্তি চাও কারো দোষ দেখবে না। That is the message of Holy Mother, and she practiced herself. মা কারো দোষ দেখতে পারতেন না, কারো দোষ দেখতে পারতেন। গোলাপ মা বলছে মা তুমি তো কারো দোষই দেখতে পারো না। বলে কি গোলাপ, কতজন আছে যারা পরে দোষ দেখছে, আমি যদি নাইবা দেখলাম তাতে কি হলো। So Holy Mother could never see fault in anybody. কারো দোষ দেখতে পারতেন না, কারো দোষ দেখতে পারতেন না। একজন যুবতী মেয়ে এসছে ওখানে, তখন মা উদ্বোধনে ছিলেন মায়ের বাড়িতে, উনি পুজো করছেন, আর একজন যুবতী মেয়ে বাইরে দাঁড়িয়ে দাঁড়িয়ে কাঁদছে। তারপরে মা বলছেন কে আছে বাছা ভিতরে এসো। ও আরও কাঁদতে লাগলো, মা আমি ভিতরে আসতে পারবো না। মা কি করছেন, মা নিজের পুজো ছেড়ে দিয়ে বাইরে এলেন, ওকে জুড়ে ধরলেন, বলে ভিতরে এসো করে নিয়ে এলেন, ওকে প্রসাদ খাওয়ালেন, ওকে মন্ত্র দিলেন, দেখো এই মন্ত্র জাপ করো, তোমাকে মন্ত্র দিয়েছি, ওখানে নাম নিলে কোটি কোটি পাপ সব শেষ হয়ে যায়। যাই হোক এখন তুমি নতুন জীবন আরম্ভ করো, ভুলে যাও যা হয়েছে, নতুন জীবন আরম্ভ করো। মেয়েটিকে খুব সান্ত্বনা দিলেন। মেয়েটির দোষ দেখলেন না। কত কেস আছে, মা কারো দোষ দেখতে পারতেন না। এই জন্য মা বলছেন, সবাই বলে আমার মনে অশান্তি, আমার মনে অশান্তি, কিন্তু অশান্তি কাকে বলে আমি এখনো বুঝতেই পারলাম না। অশান্তি কাকে বলে? মা বলছেন আমি অশান্তি বুঝি না, অশান্তি অশান্তি ওরা বলে। কেন? মা কারো দোষ দেখতে পারতেন না। তো মা যে বলেছেন আমরা যদি ওটা ফলো করব, অবশ্যই আমরাও মনের শান্তি পাবো। তো আই হ্যাভ অলরেডি রিপ্লাইড টু কোয়েশ্চেন্স। এখন তোমাদের যদি কোয়েশ্চেন থাকে জিজ্ঞেস করো। টাইম তো হয়ে গেছে, অলরেডি 1 ঘন্টা হয়ে গেছে। আমার কোনো আপত্তি নেই, যদি আরও কোয়েশ্চেন থাকে আমি রিপ্লাই দিতে পারি, আমার কোনো প্রবলেম নেই। নাও দ্য সেশন ইজ ওপেন। আমার কাছে 3টা কোয়েশ্চেন এসেছিল, আমি রিপ্লাই দিয়ে দিলাম। লং রিপ্লাই দিয়ে দিলাম, ডিটেল রিপ্লাই দিয়ে দিলাম। I already replied in detail because there was enough time. Only 3 questions were there. Now you ask any question. Open session. Interaction. If there is no question, then we can conclude. ওরা ওখান থেকে কেউ নাই, সামনে কেউ নেই, কেউ বলছে না, জিজ্ঞেস করো, ফোনই করছে না, কেউ বলছেই না। আই থিঙ্ক ওরা বিগিনিংয়ে ওরা বলেছিল না মাইক বন্ধ করে দিয়েছে। আসছে, বলো। আচ্ছা, ও trying to call. Is the meeting over? प्रश्न आ रहा है। देव लीना अभी रूप बोल महाराज लेफ्ट इन द मीटिंग ओवर ट्राइंग टू कॉन्टेक्ट। वो लोग सोचे मीटिंग शेष हो गया, बंद कर दिया था क्या तुमने? ओ महाराज ज्वाइंड अगेन, अभी बोलता है। अनिंदिता क्वेश्चन प्लीज। कोई नहीं कर रहा है क्वेश्चन। उनको माइक देना का, माइक दे देना उनको। माइक नहीं दे रहा। महाराज इज नॉट ऑडिबल बोल रहा है। Yes, you can ask question, anybody. Now it is okay. Okay, now you can ask question. They can ask also if they have got a mic. If you have got mic, you can ask the questions on your mic, or you can write here, whatever in chatting. You can ask in Bengali, Banglate jigesh korte paren, no problem. If you are hesitating to ask question in English, don't worry, Banglate question jigesh korte paren. उसको पूछ लो कब ख़त्म करना है, ख़त्म कब करना है पूछ लो उसको। Yes, you can ask question in Bengali also, no problem. বাংলাতেও প্রশ্ন জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারেন. Yes. No, we are not able to hear the question. I am not able to hear. They are asking whether you are able to hear. I am not able to hear the question.
Hello.
Can we hear our questions? Okay, she is typing her question. Okay. लिखे दाओ. We are not able to listen, na? That is why now they are writing. Okay. Now a question has come. What should be our view in life? What should be our view towards life? Extreme of emotions, extreme of rationality, being an existentialist. None of these. We must be having balancing of all the three. That is, there should not be extreme of emotion. As I told you, all the three are necessary. IQ, EQ and SQ. All the three are necessary. Some people become too much emotional. No, there should be emotional control. Some people are too much rational. They miss the poetry of life. And some people, they are too much emotional. They become sentimental nonsense. So we should have balancing of all the three. And that is why Swami Vivekananda said, all these yogas are independently capable of leading you to the truth. Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. Independently they can take. But best would be to combine all the four yogas, because then it will be harmonious development of our personality. Why? All of us have got hands to work, hands with which we can work. So why not work for the Lord? So maximum utilization of all the resources. That is what the modern management language is there. That if you want success in your business, you must have productivity. How productivity will come? By maximum utilization of all resources. So Swami Vivekananda says we must utilize all our faculties. What are the faculties? We have hands to work. Why not work for the Lord? That is Karma Yoga. We have a mind. Why not meditate with the mind? That is Raj Yoga. We have an intellect. Why not we reason out what is the ultimate reality or what is our true nature? That is Jnana Yoga. So then we have also got the heart. We want to love others and we want love from others. How much love? We want unlimited love, infinite love. And this infinite love can only come from the Lord. Swami Vivekananda says in his book on Bhakti Yoga, there cannot be an infinite love between two finite realities changing all the time and their moods also changing all the time. There can be only an infinite love between infinite Atman and infinite Paramatman, and that is Bhakti Yoga. So we should have combination of all the four, balancing of all the four. Extreme emotion, extreme rationality is not good. I think you have got the question. Does mantra help us in our success in material life? Yes. Holy Mother Sharda Devi says the easiest and the best way of solving all the problems of life is to take the name of the Lord of Sri Ram Krishna in silence. The easiest and the best way of solving all the problems of life is to take the name of the Lord of Sri Ram Krishna in silence. But of course, a spiritual aspirant wants to give more importance to spiritual development, and he wants to utilize this japam for spiritual development only. Now, there are so many questions, very good. One of my sister wants to know the difference between Sampragyat Samadhi and Ansampragyat Samadhi. Well, these are all very high, these things. These are technical words, but Asampragyat Samadhi is still further development. Sampragyat Samadhi is when you are having a little bit of consciousness left. Asampragyat Samadhi is further development of that. If when you have question, kindly doubt, okay. As per the Thakur's word, the one who speaks the truth is residing on the lap of the Lord, but due to our professional need, it becomes a need to lie. So how to cope such situation? Yes, very good. Now this is a very, very beautiful question, very practical question, and this is a difficulty we are all facing, that the whole world, the society has become such, particularly in India today, that very difficult to practice this honesty and truthfulness. Satyameva jayate. Ultimately truth shall triumph. This is what we have to remember. Though people are telling that is an old mantra, the new mantra is asatyameva jayate. But no, ultimately truth shall triumph. You find out from your, of course it takes time, but ultimately truth shall triumph. You have to pay the price for it. And why? Why should we pay the price? Because ultimately what is matters is eternal happiness, eternal life, eternal bliss. And that will come only by practicing truth and honesty. You may get a little success here and there by not following the truth, by being dishonest, by telling a lie. But ultimately, if you find, ultimately you will be the loser. So let us pay the price. Sacrifice is necessary for telling the truth and for practicing the truth. So we should avoid as far as possible telling a lie. And if you tell lie once, find out you will have to tell 10 times lie. This has to be followed. In order to conceal that untruth, again you have to tell 10 times. But first time, if you are bold enough and you follow the truth, you may have to lose something, you will have to sacrifice something, but you will have tremendous peace of mind if you are told no lie. You will have tremendous power if you are told no lie. As you mentioned before, we should have high ambition. Then how will we find satisfaction in small things? Okay. What I am saying is not ambition, not in material things. You must understand. Our original formula was simple living, high thinking. Now we have followed the reverse thing. High living, simple thinking, sometimes no thinking. No. We must have simple living and high thinking. So what I am telling about ambition is ambition of serving others, ambition of our uplifted life, ambition of our being successful in serving others. Is not ambition only of earning money or earning power and position. That you must understand. What do I mean? And second thing is that even that also, if you are taking that career development in terms of only money and package and power and position, then even that also, it should be accompanied by your development of SQ. Otherwise, a small failure will lead you to suicide. As you are following, as you are seeing, everything, these film actors had everything. They were highly ambitious. They had a series of so many films. There was at least 50 films he wanted to make, this film actor. So he was ambitious, quite ambitious. But then he did not have the patience and he did not have the SQ, was not developed, and committed suicide. We should have high ambition. So how will we find satisfaction in small things? So what I am saying is, we have to try to follow simple life, but have high thinking. That is number one. And second thing, there is no worry, no hurry, no worry. Even if you are following high life, even if you are following higher standard of developing, no doubt, no problem about that. But at the same time, your thinking has to be refined. So don't bother about this ambition. There is no problem about ambition, but the development of SQ is a must. Okay. So I have already replied. In professional life, you need to tell a lie. Try to avoid that as much as possible if you really want long-term success. If you want, sometimes for short-term success, you are telling a lie, but you will find for long-term success, you better truth. Okay. Any other question? I think I missed question. थोड़ा नीचे करो तो पूरा ऊपर का question छूट गया. Okay. I think I have replied all the questions. Okay. As per Thakur's word, the one who speaks the truth is residing on the lap of the Lord, but due to our profession. I have replied already that if you really want development of SQ, then there should not be any compromise. You may get short-term success, but by telling a lie. But if you want long-term happiness and success, then we have to stick to the truth. It's difficult. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, because all the others are following that shortcut. So we are tempted to go for the shortcut. So it requires tremendous moral power to check ourselves and not to go as others are going. So don't follow the herd. Don't follow the herd. We have to have extraordinary willpower to follow the path of truth, to follow the path that we have chalked for ourselves, to follow the path shown by Swami Vivekananda. It requires tremendous willpower, and He will give willpower. God will give us willpower if we pray to Him, and we will be able to develop IQ, EQ, SQ, all the three. So I will conclude with a very beautiful story told by Swami Vivekananda. In the Chicago Parliament Religions, this will give you moral strength to practice truthfulness and to practice and to develop SQ. It will help you, this story. So Swami Vivekananda, when he went to Chicago, as you know, in the Parliament Religions, World Parliament Religions, he narrated this story. He told about a shloka from the Shveta Upanishad. Shrunuvantu vishve amritasya putraha aye dhamani divyani tastuhu vedahametam purusham mahantam aditya varnam tamasa parastat tameva viditvati mrityumeti nanya pantha viditayanaya. Ye the children of immortal bliss, I have found the ancient one who is beyond all miseries. By knowing Him alone, ye shall be free from all miseries. And then Swami Vivekananda told, my dear sisters and brothers of America, let me call you by this sweet name. What is that? Amritasya Putra. Ye, the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings, ye, devotees and us sinners, it is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing libel on human nature. Come up, O lions, and shake up the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul is immortal, spirits free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter, you are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. That was the message. And then he gave the example. He told the story. A lioness was going along the forest, and in order to cross the flock of sheep, it jumped. When it jumped, it was pregnant, and the small lion cub fell into the flock of sheep, and the lioness went to the other side and then died. Now this small lion cub started weeping because it had lost its mother. So the mother of the sheep started taking care of this small lion cub, and this small lion cub started growing, and along with this flock of sheep, it was going along with the sheep. It was like sheep, it was bleating like sheep. After a long time, another big lion came, and it saw at a great distance a flock of sheep is going. All the sheep, they are bleating, bah, bah, bah. And at the end, there is a small lion, and that is also bleating, bah, bah, bah. It was very much astonished. What? It had never seen any lion bleating like a sheep. So it came nearer in order to see what it's all about. And all the sheep started running, bah, bah, bah. This small lion also started running, bah, bah, bah. Just it called up, hey, where are you going? These are sheep, they are afraid of me, I can understand because I am lion. But you are lion like me, why are you afraid? And the small lion said, bah, bah, bah. I am not lion, I am sheep. You fool, you are a lion and you are telling you are sheep. You are lion, you are not sheep. Again the small lion started bleating, bah, bah, bah. No, 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 no. I am not lion, I am sheep, I am sheep. So many times the big lion said, you are lion, but it was not listening. Now the big lion was very much angry, caught hold of it, dragged it near a pond, Say, look at your reflection, look at my reflection. Your face resembles that of mine or that of the sheep. Now the small lion said, oh my God, huh? My face is like that big lion. Yes, now you understand. Now give up this bleating, bah, bah, bah. Roar like me, started roaring. Now, come with me. You are the king of the forest. And became the king of the forest. So Swami Vivekananda told this story, used to tell this story. This small lion was already a lion, but it had forgotten that it was a lion. Similarly, inside each and every one of us, there is a center of consciousness having infinite power. But we are Amritasa Putra. We are the children of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. But we have forgotten that we are lions. That is why Swami Vivekananda says, come up, O lions, and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. Your soul's immortal, spirit's free, blessed and eternal. You are not matter. You are not bodies. Matter is a servant, not ye the servant of matter. Now, this is the message of Vedanta. This is the message of Swami Vivekananda, which we need very much. And we have to practice it. How this will come? The lion has to be awakened. So Swami Vivekananda says, arise, awake, 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 great ones. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. This lion has to be awakened, which is already there, but it is sleeping. It is already there. We don't have to bring this divinity from outside, but divinity has to be manifested. So how this lion can be awakened? By 4 methods. As I told you, Raj Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or psychic control or philosophy, by work or by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines, dogmas, rituals, temples, churches, mosques are but secondary details. So let us now try to work hard, try to practice these 4 yogas in our daily life. Every day we will get happiness and peace, and we will be able to go achieve eternal happiness and peace. We will be able to develop IQ, EQ, SQ. We will be able to develop total personality development, and we will be able to get the true success in our life, true happiness and peace in our life. So this is the reply. Let us try to remember that we are lions and we are not sheep. So another question has come, how to overcome depression and anxiety. So according to psychologists, 90% of anxieties are imaginary. So try to ask this question. Whenever there is an anxiety, try to analyze, is it really so? You will find 90% of the time they are imaginary. So, and then what about depression? Depression is coming because we feel that this is a problem which we will not be able to solve, because we do not know the infinite power which is at the back. That we have that divinity. So Swami Vivekananda says, gives a clarion call. Give up this small faintedness, small-mindedness, faint-heartedness. Don't be having a faint heart. Be bold. How this boldness will come? Remember that I am a lion, I am not sheep. Always remember, I am lion, I am lioness, I am not sheep. I am a lion, I am a lioness. I have got infinite power, the power of divinity within me. And every day I am practicing prayer and meditation, and this lion is getting awakened in me, and I am ready to face the problem. Let us face the monkeys, let us face the problems squarely. Don't get depressed. Be bold. Face the problems squarely. At Benares, when he faced the monkeys fled away. So problems will be there. Don't be afraid. Don't get depressed. And the best way to get, and whenever there is depression, when there is anxiety, let us try to practice prayer. Let us pray. Prayer is a very big solace. If you really believe in God, then pray. If you are too much depression, then you pray and earnestly to God. Go to a person who loves you. Try to get guidance from him. Don't take any hasty step. Try to consult somebody. Maybe you are thinking your problem is too much. So many people come to us. they think that they are having extraordinary problem. Then I tell them, there are so many people having more serious problem than this. Your problem is nothing compared to that. And by listening to their problem only, so many people are getting peace of mind. So never think that our problems are unsolvable. Even if they are unsolvable, there is infinite power with God who can solve this problem. So let us try to surrender ourselves to God during the time of depression, during the time of when we are too much disappointed, when we have lost all our hopes. Let us not get too much depressed, and let us remember God, let us pray to God, and God will take care of us. Don't worry. Okay, so my best wishes to all of you. And I will now tell that for overcoming depression and anxiety, you must make your mind strong, and your mind will become strong when you feed it every day. Don't be hungry. Don't keep them hungry. Don't keep the mind hungry. That is, take some nutritious food every day for your mind, and that will come by prayer, by inspirational reading. So I'll request all of you to go through the books of Swami Vivekananda, full of power, full of positive thoughts. Rabindranath Tagore, Nobel Prize winner, wrote to another Nobel Prize winner, Roma Rolla, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him everything is positive, nothing negative. And then Roma Rolla started reading the books of Swami Vivekananda, and he was so much charmed that later on he wrote a biography of Swami Vivekananda, and then wrote about the words of Swami Vivekananda. He wrote, his words are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven. I cannot touch these sayings of his, scattered as they are, through the pages, at a 30th distance, without receiving a thrill through my body, like an... So that electric shock that will come from the books of Swami Vivekananda. So I tell the youngsters, okay, every day you are recharging your battery of the mobile. Very good. But what about the mental battery? That also has to be recharged. How it will come? By electric shock. So when you put the mobile battery, that for charging device and mobile battery, you put the plug into the socket. That time you take the book of Swami Vivekananda in your hand. With that electric shock received from the book of Swami Vivekananda, by the time the mobile battery is charged, your mental battery gets well recharged. So try to read books of Swami Vivekananda every day before going to bed, and you will find tremendous positivity coming in your life, and your depression and anxiety, everything will be over. Just books of Swami Vivekananda and go on praying. Everything will be over. So thank you all of you very much. Thank you all. Best wishes to all of you.